Top 10 Layer 1 altcoins.
You can forget about every other layer 1 that exists except for these.
Welcome to the Bean Pod. This is your place for all things stocks and crypto. From beginner tips to expert picks. Use this as fuel for your investing journey, because when you're in the know, your money will grow.
This episode of the Bean Pod is sponsored by KyberSwap.
KyberSwap is a DEX and DEX aggregator, which is built to facilitate all your DeFi needs in one single platform.
Fast, cheap, and safe.
User experience is KyberSwap's sole focus to make everyone's life better in DeFi. Welcome to the Bean Pod. This is Shane, aka the Jolly Green Investor.
This is Josh, the Nifty Investor.
Today, we're going to be revealing the top 10 Layer 1 altcoins.
We're doing something a little bit different in this episode. We're going to do a little bit of a draft. We did this for our 100th episode, and we had a lot of fun with it. So every once in a while, we need to have some fun with crypto. We're in a bear market, so we're going to do 5 each.
Yep. So we're going to pick 5 altcoins each, all in the Layer 1 blockchain sector. It's going to rotate picks. So we did rock, paper, scissors before the episode started. I'm going to get first pick, and then we're going to build our team of 5 of our favorite Layer 1 altcoins each, while also talking about why they're so good, briefly. It's a bit of fun, and if you ever do like a fantasy sports draft, you'll get why it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to jump right into it. So with my first pick of the official Layer 1 altcoin draft, I got to take it. It's one of the most OG players in the game. He's a cornerstone of the league. Give me Ethereum, just give me, man, you're talking about layer 1s. What is guaranteed, almost guaranteed to go from bear to bull to bear to bull to bear to bull and not go to zero? It's Ethereum, man. Like, not a lot of coins other than Bitcoin and Ethereum have that ability to be cornerstones of the entire crypto sector. People are using Ethereum. It has real world use cases. It's the most used blockchain, and I think in terms of, I was thinking about Bitcoin as well, but for me, from a financial point of view, Ethereum has a much larger way to gain. Bitcoin is older, proof of work. I think people are all overlooking the fact that Ethereum's moved to proof of stake. Ethereum 2.0 kind of got washed away with the bear market. Man, give me Ethereum. He's going to be the building block of my Layer 1 team.
It's pretty interesting that you said, so Ethereum was actually if we're going to do like a draft, the first time I ever bought any crypto was Bitcoin. Second one I bought was Ethereum. So we'll get to my pick in a second.
Yep.
But when you mentioned moving to proof of stake, that's kind of where I get a little bit of hesitancy.
Right.
Which is why I wouldn't take Ethereum at number 1.
Okay.
Because I was looking into what's going to be considered a security and what's not going to be considered a security. And I looked at the Howey test. And a crypto asset based on proof of stake is considered a security under the Howey test because the stakers are analogous to the stakeholders of a company, and the stakers, the shareholders, bought the tokens as 1, as an investment of money, 2, in a common enterprise, 3, with the expectation of profits, and 4, predominantly from the efforts of others. I know the SEC has come out in the past and kind of said that Ethereum is a security. So if that is deemed to be true, you might have a starting player get hurt.
I'm going on the IL right away, baby.
Yeah.
All right, well, I guess we'll see.
So I went with, for my number 1 pick, I went with Bitcoin.
Yeah, okay.
It's the very first crypto asset I guess I ever purchased. Took a bunch of money out of the bank account and jammed it into a Bitcoin ATM, not knowing what the fuck I was doing. The SEC, to my point previously, has stated that BTC is not a security.
Yep, fair enough.
I feel it's a safer player.
Yeah. No, I like it.
It has the highest rate of adoption. Talking about OG, slow, you think it's like a slow moving quarterback or something like that?
Yeah.
I see it as having the ability to use the Lightning Network. So we have the speed, we have that layer 2 scalability aspect in Bitcoin.
I don't know. I think the league is going towards faster players every year. The league is changing, and Bitcoin, for me, bit of a dinosaur, a little slow. It will always be there. He's always going to be putting up buckets, getting touchdowns, but the league is going fast, and I think you might have just picked an aging dinosaur for your first pick.
No, man. Kathy Wood said this is going to $1 million by 2030. And your country's adopting this as their national currency.
It's a good pick. It's a good pick. All right. Back on to the number 2 picks. Let's see. Who do we got here? I'm going to go with Hedera Hashgraph.
Fuck.
Yep, that's right. Look, you talk about a player who's come from an elite background. He's shaking hands, bumping heads with Google, Boeing, LG, This guy's got, the Hedera Governing Council has some of the biggest names in the world. And we're just starting to see these companies start to bring out partnerships and integrations. Like we saw LG come out with the NFT and the TVs now integrated with HBAR. I think we've seen Google Cloud start to come out with some integrations because Google is on the governing council. If you're talking about a player that hasn't really started to produce yet, it's been highly touted since day one because of these big names that it comes from. We haven't seen him produce in the field yet. He hasn't really shown up to his potential, but I think the immense, the ceiling of this player, HBAR, is very, very high. I didn't want to take a number one, but because it hasn't really, I haven't seen the stats yet,
Yeah.
But for me, HBAR, I want HBAR on my team. Taking HBAR number 2.
It was like Tom Brady before Bledsoe got hurt.
Yeah, you just never know.
All the potential. You just see on the bench, the injury happened, and then boom. I also like that pick too because Hashgraph could be a much superior technology to blockchain. Yeah. So, and you can't argue that governing council.
For sure, yeah. It's a game changer.
All right, so for my number 2 pick, I'm going to have to go with Dogecoin.
Damn! That was my sleeper. Oh, damn. Oh, man. I thought I was going to catch you off guard with that one.
No. I think this is going to be my MVP.
Yeah.
Now that Elon owns Twitter, Dogecoin has the number 1 pumper in all of crypto. This guy's got 120 million followers on Twitter. He can integrate this payment system, which we know is going to be coming out at some point, into his robots, his Teslas, Twitter. So I think that this is a copy of Litecoin. Litecoin is a hard fork of Bitcoin, my number 1 pick. So this is like a forged asset out of my original number 1 pick.
You're going OG for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny. You look at Dogecoin, you talk about a player he's the class clown. He's always the one on the team making everyone laugh and no one really takes him seriously. But he's partnering up with Elon Musk, who's building Twitter 2.0. We know he's going to be integrating payment solutions in it, and we know he loves Dogecoin. So I think even though Dogecoin doesn't have the skills or the talents or the 5-star recruiting background that some of the other ones do, it's the fact of who he knows. And for me, I was going to take Dogecoin. Damn it. That's a good pick. That's a great pick. I got to hand it to you.
Thanks, bro.
All right. So now we're on to number 3 here. There's interesting. I was so set on Dogecoin for my number 3. It really threw me for a spinner here.
All right. It happens. That's why in drafts, usually there's 30 seconds in between.
That's it. Yeah.
Picks or something.
No, I like it. All right. Number 3, I'm picking Algorand.
Nice one.
Algorand, he's a technical wizard. He's got all the stats. He's got pure proof of stake. So it's one of the most technologically advanced blockchains. It's one of the most environmentally friendly blockchains. So we know this is a guy that's always putting the world first, which we like to do on this show and on my channels. Plus, you're starting to see this player make some big partnerships. They were selected as the official blockchain partner for FIFA. So it's not just the skills that he has. He's also starting to really produce on the field. So we've been talking about Algorand on the show for a while. It's also part of the ISO 20022 group of cryptos, which could potentially be riding tailwinds if CBDCs come to fruition, governments, regulations. So for me, this is a 5-tool player. I want Algorand. He can do it all. He can quarterback, flex player, wide receiver. Algorand's my 3rd pick.
DeFi, right?
Yeah. Everything, baby, everything.
The founder of Algorand invented ZK proofs. And that's what your number 1 pick, Ethereum, Vitalik Buterin speaking about how, everything needs to go to zero knowledge. And that's what Mina Protocol is attempting to do.
Yep.
All these other ones, right? So
I like it.
And in a previous episode, depending on when it airs, is also the MIT connection to the CBDCs.
Yeah.
So definitely a very good pick. I had them on my list. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to take them. So with my pick, I'm going to go with Kadena.
Whoa, you're going all proof of work, eh?
I'm doing it.
Wow. that is unexpected.
I know.
I had them at the bottom of my list. It was like, maybe I'll take them.
I'm doing this strictly off of when the SEC cracks down on proof of stake because of how they're going to be viewed as security. I'm taking a safe team. The reason I win, when we do our NBA drafts, the reason I win, I won in the past is I had a team of players that didn't get hurt.
Okay.
Right. So I don't want any of my players going down with a knee injury.
Okay. Yeah. Fair enough. I like the strategy. It's an interesting strategy. I like it.
Yeah. Only proof of work blockchain that is able to scale and handle all of the global transactions. You know, you look at the founders, you know, the creator of the blockchain, you know, JP Morgan coin, ties with the banks. Pretty convenient if you ask me.
Yep, for sure. No, it's an interesting pick. I had Kadena on my list. Obviously, it's a proof of work. They have the gas stations, right? So they pay for the gas for people to use it, which could be great for corporate and enterprise adoption. As you mentioned, the team is connected to all these big companies.
They're also connected to the SEC.
Right. Okay.
Remember?
So yeah. Kadena is an interesting play for sure.
Yeah.
I like it. Man, you've been throwing some curveballs out here.
That's how you win drafts, baby.
Yeah. No, I like it. All right. So I have Ethereum, I have Hedera Hashgraph, and I have Algorand. All right. My fourth pick, I'm going with Cosmos. I'm going to take Atom. Yeah.
Is that not layer 0?
Not layer 1.
Okay.
Cosmos layer 1. You can throw a flag all you want, but we can get the people in the comments saying Cosmos is a layer 1 blockchain.
I was under the interpretation that was a layer, but it's okay.
So you can throw a flag.
Yeah.
You can throw a flag.
I feel like a flag could be tossed in here, but then I don't want you stealing one of my other picks.
You could Google right now, is Cosmos a layer 1 blockchain?
I actually had them on my list previous, but there's
the thing I like about Cosmos is he's made massive strides since he was a rookie. Like, he came into the league and everyone's, he's got this is one big issue. The big issue people always said about Cosmos is the tokenomics, right? Because we know it's an interoperability play. It's the internet of blockchains. What's the consensus? Did you type in, is it a layer 1?
I said, is Cosmos a layer 1 or layer 0? The very first one that comes up from the defiant.io is Cosmos is a layer 0. It connects different blockchains into a meta blockchain system. On layer 0, a smart contract is on one network may execute transition on another. The next article, it is a layer 0. Next one by Horizon, Cosmos, a layer 0 network.
Okay, so you want to throw your flag? You get a flag per episode.
I know. I mean, you could have an ineligible player on your team.
Well, you throw the flag.
I'm tossing it because I originally had them down as well.
Okay, no, the flag is fine. The flag is part of the game.
All
right. Cosmos is out of the draft. Cosmos will be in the layer 0 draft.
That means I get to go next?
No. Still get a pick. The layer 0 draft will be a good one, actually.
Yeah.
Well, so tune into that one.
Well, that'll be number 1, I think.
You never know. You throw Dogecoin out there. All right. Cosmos is out. So for my next pick, this is still my number 4th pick. You know what? Give me Casper.
Nice.
Give me Casper. This is, it's always going to be towards the back end of the draft. This is a sleeping giant. Some people maybe have never even heard of Casper as a layer 1. The thing that I love about Casper is it's very flexible. It has future-proof smart contracts, which means that once a smart contract is deployed in the blockchain, you can actually make changes to it while it's live. Whereas with traditional layer 1 blockchains, all the other players on our team, once that smart contract is out there, you have to completely replace it. You can't make changes live. So if you're an enterprise looking to build a massive program on smart contracts, if you have 100 million users on there, billions of dollars, if you need to make a change, well, you can't really afford downtime. And one of the reasons that we've covered in Casper in the past is why you haven't really heard much about them is because they're specifically for enterprise. You know that they have a lot of NDAs in place. They can't really discuss a lot of the stuff they're doing, but if you really dig deep, you can see the roadmap that Casper has. And for me, at a $350 million market cap, this is a steal at this point in the draft. So give me Casper Labs.
Yeah, the token's down, like 95% or something.
Yep.
The good thing I like about Casper is all their tokens have now been released, except for the inflationary aspect for the validators.
Yep.
But the tokens only just got released during this bear market. I think if they were gone like previous to, like last year in the summer or something, I think we would have seen a massive spike by Casper. They're already working with IBM. They're in this really tight-knit group of blockchain companies that are partnered with these Fortune 500 companies. And again, the non-disclosure agreements, that's why you don't hear about them all the time. There's not a retail-facing company. It's working with the enterprises.
Yep, I like it. Welcome to my team, Casper.
All right, so I've gone so far with Bitcoin number 1, Dogecoin number 2. I like Dogecoin. Dogecoin to me is like a Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, he's fast. He's funny. He's good though.
Yeah. And then I got Kadena number 3. So I've gone multiple proof of works, but I want to target the emerging markets.
Okay.
Because I think when the central bank digital currencies roll out and all these, I think we're gonna get so regulated over here. I think we can get some willy-nilly stuff going on in some of the other countries. So there's 2 on my list, and I'm having a hard time deciding which one I actually want to go with.
All right.
My heart is telling me I feel like I need a proof of stake on my my team.
You can't go all proof of work. Yeah.
I know. So I'm gonna go with Celo.
Wow.
I know.
Wow.
I know.
Okay. Yeah. We have talked about this in the past. I know you do like it.
It's one of our 3 altcoin sleeping giants.
Yeah, for sure.
To me, it's the fact that they're going after the unbanked.
Right.
This is, and the number one reason I like this is that they already have a mobile version on Celo. It's a Celo wallet that already exists on iOS and Android, and it's called Valora. So people all around the world can convert their fiat into a stable coin and then send it to another country. So, and you can do it all via text. Like, it's super simple.
Yep.
And I think, like, when you're talking about developing nations with 3 billion plus people, I think there's a lot of, this has cross-chain interoperability. It's fast, it's cheap, it ticks every little box that you would need for an emerging market. And, you know, when you're in North America or one of these developed nations, we only have, 300 million people plus over here.
Yep.
What's developing is like 3 billion. Like, it's such a huge number of individuals.
Yeah. No, that's interesting.
So I can see Celo as a interesting play.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, it's another one out of left field for sure. You're putting together quite the interesting team here. That wasn't even on my list. But yeah, no, as we talked about, money transfers for developing nations. It's simple. We got a lot of, there's Jack Dorsey behind it. There's a lot of people that are, kind of picking this as a sleeping giant, including us. So, yep, welcome to Josh's team, Celo.
Let's go, baby.
All right, so now we're at the 5th pick, the last pick in the draft. All right, so you got to make this a good one. In drafts, sometimes I like to just, you go out of left field in your 5th pick.
Yeah.
Your last pick of the draft, So let's go left field. It's not that left field. It's a project we've covered before. I'm going to go with Oasis Network.
Nice.
Yep.
Got them on the list. Yeah.
This is a very secretive guy. He's all about privacy, security. You never, in those post-game interviews, people are talking about this guy's, you never hear him say nothing. He's all about privacy and security. And this is one of the trends that we think is going to be a huge, huge hypey thing in the next bull run. So give me one of the industry leaders in the security and privacy sector, and that's Oasis Network. Not only because it's one of the world's leading privacy-enabled layer 1 blockchains, but again, we've seen them working with big names. They've worked with BMW. They've done a trial run with Instagram, Facebook, Meta. We're seeing them work with some of the biggest companies in the world, allowing customers to share their vulnerable data through the Oasis protocol, getting shared with the companies, say BMW or Instagram, but not actually the vulnerabilities aren't being breached, right? And I think as people now more and more going forward want to keep their data safe, the cool thing about Oasis Network is that it allows people to tokenize their own data and profit off of it. So moving forward, if you're looking at a world that's much more private and hopefully, allows people to monetize their data, Oasis Network could be the leading person. So I'm taking them with my 5th pick.
They also have that $235 million development fund.
That's always nice. The money in the bank comes from money. This guy, he comes from money.
A lot of money in the bank, baby.
Yeah. I like
nice one. I had that on my list. All right, so for my last pick, this is a player who's, I think he's like suffered an injury. He's fallen, but he's just sleeping. Like, okay, those players, like, they get all this hype, but then they like do something to their knee, like at the tail end of the season. I've tried to avoid a lot of injuries, right?
Yep.
But I still need to grab sitting in the top 10.
Potential,
here.
yeah.
The potential.
Yeah.
So this guy's fallen down to like it's sitting. Nobody wants to touch it anymore.
Okay.
It's a centralized exchange, Binance.
Yeah. Honestly, that was the other one I was gonna pick as my last pick, and I was like, it's an interesting pick, and I think it deserves to be picked. So kudos.
The platform is, man, out of every exchange, it is by far the best. No matter what, like everything you do on that thing is so simple. If you want to short a token, easy. You want good charts, simple. Like everything I like of the swapping tokens, simple.
Yeah.
They have an auto burn. Most of their tokens are in circulation. I think there's a lot of centralized exchange FUD out there. But the fact that he's invested $500 million into, my number 2 pick with Twitter and Elon to get that going, I think there's so much more than just the US. So yeah, they can go after Binance all they want, but man, there's still another 7 billion people on the planet.
Yeah.
And this guy's making inroads in Singapore and this and that and that. Like,
yeah.
So he's doing stuff outside the US, but we get so fixated on
The US.
the US, right?
But I mean, the Binance is the giant of the crypto exchange group, the whole sector, and everyone takes shot at the giant. You know, everyone takes shot at the leaders, the best. You know, everyone's taking shots at Tom Brady. You know, he did this, he did this, he did this. That your only reason people are doing it is because he's the best.
Yeah.
People are fudding Binance right now because he's the best.
And it's withstanding.
So yeah, no, I was definitely debating taking Binance. I'm happy you picked it because he deserves to be on one of our teams. So BNB is a good addition.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so at the end of all these episodes, if you're still watching, I hope you are. I want you to, in the comments, say whose team you think is better. And then we can judge going forward as we keep doing these episodes who wins. So if you like Jolly's portfolio, which is Ethereum, HBAR, Algorand, Oasis, and Casper, you can put my name. And if you like yours, which was
Bitcoin at number 1,
Yeah.
Dogecoin, Kadena, and then I had Celo.
Celo, yeah.
I was also tossing up Cardano there.
Wow.
Because they're also, I wanted to have one proof of stake, but they're also targeting developing nations.
Yep.
And then Binance at number 5.
BNB, yep.
BNB.
All right, well, let us know which one of those teams you'd be riding with, which team you think is better. And if you like this format, let us know because we're planning on doing this for every single crypto category, just doing these drafts to uncover our favorite projects.
And then tune to the next episode.
Because that one's going to be a banger.
All views expressed by speakers on the BeanPod are solely their opinions. You should not treat any opinion expressed on the BeanPod as a specific inducement to make a particular investment or follow a specific strategy, but only as an expression of their opinion. This podcast is for informational purposes only.